Joining me now from our bureau in New York City, attorney and Trump 2020 Advisory Board member, Jeff Ballabon. Jeff, I don't see, if you look at the platforms we're seeing right now, I don't see how these Democrat candidates are connecting with what I believe is mainstream America out there. Do you see them connecting?
Absolutely not. It's interesting. It looks like the Democrats and President Trump learned two opposite lessons from the 2016 election. President Trump learned that his base is with him, and he's pushing a little bit by going to the middle in terms of taking chances. And if you saw the State of the Union address, he's being less combative and more unifying. And you saw the reaction. 82% of independents gave him a thumbs up. The Democrats seem to have learned from the 2016 election that there's so much energy among the crazy caucus, among the radical left, they're running hard left. I don't think any of the current crop that we've heard about is doing anything but running to the hard left. They sound actually insane. I mean, the things they're talking about would devastate this country, would devastate people's private lives, except for the small number of people in this country who want nothing better but to be on the dole. And so the Democrats, and usually, you move towards your base during the primary and then to the center in the election. But their base, at least the way they seem to be portraying it, is so extreme, is so insane that I think they're killing themselves for the election. And Trump is getting stronger and stronger.
They're banking on the hope that Americans will not remember how radical they were in the lead up to the primary and until the general election. That's what they're banking on. But when you look at Kamala Harris, it seems to me that she might be the most formidable foe among them. Seems perfect to me, right? She's female, minority. She has a bit of a ghost of a background, a blank slate, if you will, to a degree, not unlike Barack Obama. Do you think that Kamala Harris, among the declared candidates for president, among the Democrats, do you think Kamala Harris could give President Trump the most fits?
Well, it's tragic. Your explanation really embodies part of the problem, which is that to win the Democratic primary, to be the Democratic nominee, you have to check certain boxes.
Yep.
And it's not about your policies, it's about your identity. And so you're saying Kamala Harris brings certain identities to the race. Now, the question is whether in a year or two from now, being a minority woman is sufficiently edgy to even accept, to even be the nominee among Democrats as they're redefining what identity means. You saw poor Kirsten Gillibrand saying, hey, look at me, I'm a mom and I'm a woman, and don't we want to have a woman in the White House? It's all about identity. The truth is, the swing vote, it's not about identity. People do like the idea of, look how liberal this country is, look how anyone can get ahead. But they're not going to sacrifice the economy and destroy our country with these crazy bills, these crazy ideas of, overtaxing everybody, trillions and trillions of dollars of making the government control everybody's life. They're not going to go for that. And so, yeah, they're running on identity, but the politics is going to kill them.
What we need is, Jeff, we need the mainstream media. I'm not going to hold my breath on this, but it would be nice if the mainstream media would get out there and say to Kamala Harris, oh, you want to repeal the tax cuts? Exactly what are you going to replace it with? And how are you going to explain it to the American people that suddenly they are taxed more? Because if you repeal the tax cuts, of course, taxes are going to go up. That would be nice. The mainstream media would be nice if they would ask about the Green New Deal. And how is that not an attack on our civil society, our constitutional republic, and the free market system? That would be a nice component here, but again, it's not one that I'm going to hold my breath. Instead, I want to look at Bernie's...
On the contrary.
Go ahead.
No, guys, on the contrary, you see what the media is doing. The New York Times had a piece saying that Republicans, mind you, are trying to portray Democrats as socialists and as anti-Israel. Well, they are socialists and anti-Israel. That's how they're portraying themselves to their base. Right. They're trying to say, oh, no, that's just the right wing pushing it. So the media, unfortunately, is going to play their game, which is forget about the policies, forget about how good your life is. Donald Trump is evil. Donald Trump is a horrible, racist, mean Nazi, which is what they've been doing for the last 2.5 years. They're going to keep on playing that game.
There's another one that the mainstream media should be going after if they were really doing their job and their duty, and that is the anti-Semite wing of the Democrat Party. Clearly, there is an anti-Semite wing of the Democrat Party. It exists. It is real. And Bernie Sanders is also real. Bernie Sanders scares me the most among all the candidates simply because he is a Marxist socialist, but he's not a female. If you look at it through the lens of a Democrat, right? He's not a female. He's not a minority. He's not a blank slate. We know him all too well. On the other hand, word is, over the past 24 hours after he declared his candidacy for the president, he was able to obtain somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 million during that 24-hour period. So he does have a base. But I think when you look at Bernie Sanders and you look, as you mentioned, the State of the Union address, I think it was very astute of the President of the United States to drop that line in there about socialism and the camera zoom in on Bernie Sanders.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.